Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Nurkuzaimah binti Muhamad Syawal and we are from Food 21. We'll be presenting on the topic where and how gender differences are perceived or unperceived in IIUM Pagoh. In simple terms, this topic explores how males and females are treated and interact different on campus and which differences are noticed as well as which one often go unnoticed. Before we go further, let us clarify some key definitions to ensure everyone understands the concept we will discuss. First, gender differences. These refer to the differences in roles, behaviors, expectations, and treatment between males and females. Student everyday life. Sometimes these differences are very obvious, such as the division of various space, activities dominated by particular gender or dress code rules. Second, perceived gender differences. These are differences that are noticeable and obvious to people. For example, at IIUM Pagoh, we may notice that females are more present in certain classes, while men are more active in clubs like silat or whatever sports. Third, unperceived gender differences. These are more subtle differences that happen without people really noticing. For instance, during group work, females often take care of documentation or not taking, while males handle presentation or a technical task. No one assigns these rules, yet it still occurs. Why is this topic important? On campus, we live, we learn, and interact with each other every day. Gender differences can influence decision making, communication, and opportunities. By the understanding these differences, we become more aware and can help create a fair campus environment for everyone. Additionally, comparing our campus to universities other countries such as Japan shows that gender perception is not only influenced by religion or campus policy but also by political culture. In short, this introduction gives an overview of how gender differences exist on campus. Some are clearly noticed while others occur without us realizing. Understanding this helps us become more aware in daily interaction and contributes to creating a fair campus environment. That's all for me. I'll pass to the next presenter.
My name is Nur Nafeesa Aleeya Md Rizam, and I will be explaining the perceived gender differences in IIUM Pagoh, that is the gender differences that are clearly visible and consciously noticed in our daily campus life. One of the most obvious aspects is how the university organizes physical spaces and how students present themselves through their clothing, both of which naturally create a clear distinction between male and female students. So, many facilities on campus such as the surround, hostel blocks, and activity rooms are arranged separately for men and women. This separation is not merely for administrative convenience, but it serves to ensure comfort, privacy, and proper social boundaries. A strong example can be seen during the Pagoh swimming classes, which male and female students attend completely separate sessions to avoid any situation that may lead to discomfort or accidental exposure of the aura. So this arrangement reflects the Islamic principle in Surah An-Nur, verse 30 until 31, which emphasizes lowering the gaze and preserving modesty, showing how these teachings are applied practically in our learning environment. At the same time, perceived gender differences can also be observed through our daily dressing practices. For example, female students typically dress modestly with loose clothing, and proper hijab, even when they are just heading to the cafe or going to take a parcel. But for male students, on the other hand, have slightly more flexibility and usually wear collar t-shirt or normal t-shirt with long pants, while still maintaining basic Islamic dress requirements. So recently, this issue became even more visible when OSAM, our police security team, conducted class by class inspection to check whether the students were following the dress code or not. Some students were even fined for not meeting the required standards, although this may seem strict, but it reflects how seriously the university upholds modesty and a proper attire for both genders, reinforcing the cultural and religious values that shape the identity of IIUM. So, although together, these examples show that perceived gender differences at IIUM Pagoh are not just written rules but are part of the campus culture. They shape how we move around, participate in activities, and also present ourselves every day. From the way spaces are structured to the way students dress, these differences form a significant part of our daily experience and reflect the values that guide life in an Islamic learning environment. I guess that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone and konnichiwa. So today I will talk about unperceived gender differences in university life, especially in group assignments. These are differences that happen quietly and unintentionally without anyone realizing. From my own experience as a university student, I believe and I notice that men and women often end up doing a different roles in group work, even though that nobody plans it. We don't even plan it. For example, famous students, including myself, we usually like to handle things like writing reports, organizing meetings, and reminding the group about deadlines. Meanwhile, male students often to take roles like designing slides, doing technical tasks, or presenting. We just naturally doing it without thinking. Another unperceived difference is during discussions. Male students, they tend to speak more confidently or take the lead, while female students usually make sure everyone agrees or avoid a conflict. These patterns happen quietly because of habits or expectations that we don't notice. And yep, I experienced this myself when I became the organizer of my group without anyone asking. So I created the group chat, managed deadlines, and did most of the writing. At first, I thought it was normal, but later I realized that many female students go through the same thing, doing a visible or invisible work that not everyone sees. In conclusion, these unperceived gender differences may subtle, but they shape our group dynamics. By being aware of them, we can divide tasks more fairly and create more supportive environment in the future. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Bye bye. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Hi, my name is Najwa. I like to talk about comparison with university in Japan. In Japan, university programs often reflect traditional gender roles. Male students are more likely to pursue STEM fields. This is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. You will find them filling up classrooms in robotics, computer science, or mechanical engineering. On the other hand, female students tend to choose humanities, education, or language studies. Why does this happen? One reason is cultural expectation. From a young age, Japanese boys are encouraged to be ambitious and aim for technical field. Meanwhile, girls are often expected to take roles that are seen as gentle or supportive, such as teaching or communication-related fields. Another key difference is in classroom behavior. In Japanese culture, modesty and politeness are highly valued. This makes many female students more reserved during lecture. They may hesitate to ask questions or challenge opinion, especially when male students are more vocal. This gender imbalance is also seen in physical space. For example, robotics lab, engineering workshop, and university gym often feel very male dominated. It's not that women are not allowed, but sometimes the environment doesn't feel welcoming or balanced. Lastly, leadership position in club or student council tend to be held by men, although this is slowly changing. Many female students still face silent pressure to step back or take on supporting roles.
Hi, my name is Shafika Nazrin. So, the conclusion of our group presentation shows that throughout our daily experience in university life, we can clearly see that gender differences are sometimes perceived and sometimes unperceived, depends on the context. In group work, we have noticed that some mixed-gender groups divide tasks based on comfort level, which is male students may take technical tasks while female students focus on planning. But in many situations, especially online work, task division depends more on skill and personality, not gender. Next, when working on assignment, some female students tend to plan ahead, while some male students work closer to deadlines. However, this is not always the case. Individual work style matters more than gender. Besides, in interaction with lecturer and leadership roles, gender influence is much less noticeable. Both male and female students approach lecturer confidently and leadership positions are taken by those who are capable and committed. This shows that ability and effort matter more than gender. Overall, we can see that while gender different exists, many aspects of university life are shaped more by individual strength, confidence, and personal preference rather than gender alone. Lastly, based on my experience, high school with university gender dynamic compared to high school, gender dynamic in university are more equal and matured. In high school, students often follow stereotypes like boys are expected to lead, while girls are expected to be organized and interaction between genders is limited. But in university, students interact more freely, collaborate more equally, and choose roles based on ability, not gender. Although students have more freedom to communicate and work together, they still maintain appropriate boundaries and respect between male and female peers. The environment encourages independence, confidence, and fairness, making gender difference less obvious. I think that's all from our group. Thank you. Bye-bye.